give me the basics about where you were born and where you were
I was
raised?
born upstate New York, 1910, April 30th, on a farm.
Did you spend most of your childhood up there?
Up until about the age of 12, and then I went to work in the circus, and I've been a performer since 1922.
Did your parents have any impact on your decision to?
No, 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 they totally unrelated. They were hard-working farm people, totally unrelated to show business.
I was wondering if you kept any memorabilia or scrapbook.
No, I have no programs, memorabilia, posters, picture, nothing. Zero. I'm not interested in yesterday. No, no. Totally uninterested. I'm not interested in what I did yesterday or 10 yesterdays ago or 2,000 yesterdays ago. I did it. Life goes on. I'm interested in now and tomorrow.
Can you name some of the theaters that you've played?
Different theaters, like the Oriental in Chicago, the Vickers in Chicago, the Schubert in Chicago, the Walnut in Philadelphia, the Locust, the Erlanger in Philadelphia, the Schubert in Philadelphia, the Latin Casino in Philadelphia, the Martin Beck here, the St. James here, good Lord, the O'Neill, oh my God, it's the 100 theaters I've played in. Played off-Broadway theaters, famous Circle in the Square, I played at the Cherry Lane, God, all over the country I played. And some of those I've forgotten the names of the theaters that I played. I would say at least 50% are gone. I guess they figure out it's more profitable to have a parking lot than a theater.
Does that sadden you at all?
Sadden me? No. No, not at all. No, no. If that's the equation that people live by, that it's more profitable to have a parking lot, then no, that doesn't sadden me. No, it just reaffirms certain principles that I have, that America is not a cultured nation, never was. You know, it's like H.L. Mencken said. Bye-bye,
Take
love.
care, Grandpa.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. H.L. Mencken said nobody ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American public. And he coined the phrase, he had a phrase for it, Bubus Americanus. So I don't feel sad. It doesn't surprise me. Not at all.
How has this particular neighborhood changed?
This used to be in the 30s and 40s. It was principally an Italian neighborhood. And then also the whole general area, Greenwich Village, my God, there were probably 200 nightclubs. Now there are so few, none. Count on a guy who has no fingers, you know. I mean, big changes, big changes. Doesn't nowhere resemble, you know, what it was not 50 years ago, but 25, 30 years ago.
So I was wondering if you ever worked at the Borscht Belt.
Yeah, oh sure.
What clubs did you work, or what
Not really
resorts?
clubs. I worked hotels, you know, in White Lake, Monticello, Liberty, Loch Sheldrake, Fallsview, in the 30s and the 40s. Excellent testing ground. You find out right away whether you're made for it or not. It's only open this summer. Now, the big giant one, and you're open winter all year. But those years it was all summer, you know, Decoration Day to Labor Day.
I was just in Liberty, and it's Grossinger's is closed now.
Yeah, yeah,
And the town is
yeah.
just closed
Deserted,
down.
ghost town. When I worked at Catskills, I went out, if I was the regular at the place, so I would, let's say, on cabaret night or show night, I would MC the show, do a turn for 15 minutes, and introduce the act. If I was just working it, like a lot of times Friday and Saturday, you got 3 gigs. You went to one place and you did your 40 minutes and ran out, got into the car, and ran to the other, try to make all of them, to make money.
What other performers were at the
Ah,
resorts there?
good Lord. Who's who of my God. Very hard to think of one who wasn't. Earl worked there, Danny Thomas worked there, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, Jan Murray. Who didn't? It's a great ground, proving ground, and it's a great way to make a living.
So you were an MC?
It depends. See, an MC is generally on the staff, so he's there all the time. But that's a steady job. While if you just job in, that's something different. You don't have a steady job. You try to get as many bookings during the week as you can. You know, I've done both.
What's your personal role when you're at the restaurant? What do you provide your customers with?
Well, I'm nice to them. I make sure that they're served courteously. I make sure the food they get is the best that my two master chefs can turn out.
What do you attribute the success to?
Ambiance, in my opinion, it's a beautiful restaurant, the way it's laid out. I designed it. I'm not an architect, but I told them what I wanted. Two patios, double helix awnings, indoors, all that. In my opinion, I have the two best Italian chefs in New York. I serve the best Italian food in New York at its most modest price. And to me, once, let's say at the beginning, they all came here to see Grampa. But that only lasts once. That's a one-shot. Celebrity restaurants in New York come and go. They come and go. It's what you put on the table. And people come in and say, gee, the food is great, man. And some people even tell me in a joke, the first time I came here was because of you. Now, I don't even pay any attention to you. I love the food, which is great, which is what I want.
Do you think you have to find other ways to compete with the recession and people not willing to spend money? New York
Oh, yeah. The battle for the entertainment dollar is furious. You have to. Can't sit back. There's a million ways of doing it. Last night I was at the club. I was there because Staten Island started their own little cable TV station. And so we're on that for an hour a week. And so I introduced the comedy show and interviewed, ad-libbed with some of the customers there. You got to, it's a tough battle. It never ends. Never ends. Have a nice weekend.
Jonathan Demme, he cast you in Married to the Mob.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that came about. Did he approach you, or?
He called me, and he said, I'm a big fan of yours, and there's no part in the picture, but I'd like to have you just write a little part in. Would you like to do it? And I said, I'm not doing anything. I said, fine. I went out to wherever it was, Long Island, someplace, in an office building. We did it, and I went home.
I was wondering, when you're doing a job like the Halloween job, are you Al Lewis or are you Grandpa? Are there any traits to the character?
I assume that some of it comes out, but there's no conscious effort upon my part to or not to. Just don't even think about it. People see me here and they say, gee, you're Grandpa, you never change. It's all in the eye of the beholder and hearer. I don't know. I mean, I don't plan anything.
Is working the crowd at this restaurant, is that also a performance?
All of life is one. I didn't say that. Shakespeare said it. He's a lot smarter than I am. I'm a performer, and I do what it takes. I never had one single thought in my life that I wanted to be in, and once I got it, remain in the public eye and be a celebrity or famous. Never thought. Never. I do what I have to do. The chips fall where they may. If you remember me, fine. If you don't, hey, no big deal. I go on. No big deal. I never wanted to be a celebrity, star, or whatever else. I want to keep doing what I love doing, and that's it. I don't think about, if I do this, then I'll still be famous, and if I do this, then people will still recognize me. And never had that thought in my life. Some of the most talented people I knew died broke in a furnished room, but that's not their fault. Who knows what, Hey. Sigmund Freud didn't have the answers. I certainly don't have the answers.
Do you have any plans for your 81st birthday?
I'll probably have a good time.